On a recent sport climbing project of mine, I ran into a very difficult clip that I really didn't want to blow because there was soft decking potential. But because of the really steep terrain that this was on, just extending the clip wasn't helping very much, because the more you extend the clip, the further it hangs away from the wall. And what I really needed was not for the clip to be lower, but for the clip to be closer to the wall, because there's a very good knee bar that I wanted to clip out of, and I wasn't strong enough to just do a couple more moves and clip from that position. So to make the clip closer instead of lower, I came up with this little gizmo, which really helped a lot and was sort of the difference in sending the project and not sending the project. And I figured I'd make a little video in case anybody else has run into a similarly difficult to clip quick draw. Okay, so this is a close-up look at the gizmo. So all we've got here is a shoulder length, well, really two shoulder length slings connecting two carabiners, just like you might use for any sort of long draw application. But the special sauce are these giant twist ties that are Nite Ize brand. And then once you bend these and connect them to the two carabiners, duct tape a carabiner on and add a whole bunch of washers to act as a counterweight, which moves the center of gravity away from the sling and out here towards the washers. And now I'll show you what that looks like when it's hanging free and not just sitting on the ground. For reference, this is the sling without the counterweighted system on it, hanging straight down as you would expect. Here we have the same sling with the counterweight system applied, and you can see that it no longer hangs straight down and it's been pushed inwards closer to the wall quite significantly. So with a regular extended draw, this clipping attempt was pretty much a best case scenario. However, a lot of my attempts ended up looking like this, which is less than ideal. Not my favorite. More than a few attempts were total disasters, like this one.
Sorry, that was my fault. No, you're okay. I missed it.
But with the counterweighted draw, it was all smooth sailing. So before I wrap this up, there's just a couple of things I want to mention about using this thing on this particular climb. You'll notice that there was no even semi-permanent attachment of the Nite Ize ties to the carabiners. And that's because when I was initially using this thing, I was fidgeting with it a lot and trying to adjust it so that it would work with my stick clip and so that it would hang properly. But if you were going to hang this thing up for any amount of projecting where there might be people underneath it, you would probably want to attach those Nite Ize draws and the heavy washers that are taped to them a little more securely than I did. I didn't bother with that because this particular quick draw, it's so close to the ground that I would just take this thing on and off with my stick clip between every attempt. Related to that stick clipping on and off, I did have to kind of calibrate the number of washers that I put on there. If I put too many on it, even though it would hang really, really close to the wall, which was great, I couldn't get it on and off the bolt with my stick clip, which is a Trango squid. So I had to cut down on the number of washers until it got to a point where it was still manageable with that particular stick clip. Obviously, I'm not the first person to encounter this kind of problem on steep terrain. I know people have taken like long quick draws and like a little piece of Velcro on the wall and just Velcroed the quick draw to the wall so that it would be in clipping distance during a red point attempt. I just thought that this would be a little bit cleaner and not involve gluing things to the rock. But if you've come up with a solution to this kind of problem, I would love to hear about it.